Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Friday and you are with Dannphan. Some might even say that it's a Friday with Dannphan. Hey! We did take a break from doing these weekly streams for a while, but I'm back. I kind of want to start doing them again. I don't know for how long again, but hopefully for a while because I'll be honest, I kind of missed it. I kind of missed you guys. How many weeks has it been since the last one? It's only been like 3 weeks or something. I guess it wasn't that long now that I think about it, but it feels like a long time, naturally, you know? A lot of the videos I was updating, a lot of the videos I was uploading at the time during those few weeks were all videos that I had like pre-recorded and then was just editing and then uploading. So I wasn't actually doing videos that much during that time either. Actually, like the news videos that I did this week are probably the newest videos that I've done in a while. Um, so yeah, it was an interesting break, I guess. Maybe a little took some of the stress off, but I'm back and I'm ready to go full throttle into a working again, doing some videos and yeah. So how has everyone been? Hopefully you guys have been fine and dandy as well. Oh boy. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Probably not. There's like kind of a storm happening outside. You might hear the little pitter patter of rain every now and then, but we'll just consider it some nice ASMR in the background. We'll pretend that I intended for there to be good quiet rain in the back. Mm. Let me see what we got in the comments here. Dan, will you review Ison 1 from the Rippaverse? 3 million rays so far. Unreal. That is quite awesome. Good for him. I feel like I gotta, right? I feel like at that point, the comic is so famous. Of course, I have to review it. I didn't pick up a copy yet, though, I will say. I don't know how many of you like follow me on other social media. I didn't obviously post about this on my YouTube, but I did kind of hit a snag financially this week. My car needed some pricey repairs, so I kind of took a back step. But you know, you know how it be. We'll make it back. Just got to work harder. But Dannphan, people have been really going after and hating on Rippa. Have you ever experienced anything that he's been getting, e.g., haters, hit pieces? I mean, me personally, I've I've all heard every word in the book on the YouTube comments section, and a few unfriendly people on Twitter every now and then. I don't get that much attention though. I try not to be that controversial because I'm kind of not made for those types of things. I have a very anxious personality, and I don't want to be in the line of fire. But Ripa, yeah, I know people have been hating on him for a long time. I mean, he's been making videos for a really long time. Uh, I used to be subbed to him at one point. Um, Back when I was watching his videos more often. I don't really watch his videos anymore, just because I've noticed throughout time a lot of his videos kind of felt the same. A lot of what he would cover would be like race swaps. That was a big topic for him because he believed that no matter the situation, a race swap is not okay, which is his stance. And people were very interested on that stance, not only because it's a highly talked about topic, but because he himself is an African American, right? And whenever I bring up the topic on my channel about sexism in comics and the female body being all over the place and over exaggerated and nice and curvy, people are interested in my take on it just because I'm a woman, and that's kind of how it goes, I guess. Or maybe we're just like less afraid to talk about it because of how we're born. I don't know. I mean, uh it goes to show you that it doesn't matter as much who you are. uh you can have whatever opinion because you're an individual. At the end of the day, it's more so about what's in your brain, not so much like what's on the outside, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, now that we've covered that, maybe we should talk about other stuff. Oh, thanks for the donation. Give me €5. Nice. It's all good, man. I mean, he did a great job building up an audience. I'll admit that I haven't really been watching his videos lately. That's, just being honest here. But I heard about the Ripa verse when it came out. It boomed, and when an indie comic is that successful, you got to talk about it. You can't just ignore it or pretend like it's not valid. Even if you don't like the guy, you should still mention it and talk about, maybe take some notes on how he built up an audience and everything. Oh, thanks for the $5. Unexpected car repairs are the worst. Yeah. You know how it is, guys. It's brutal. But hey, $800 later and it's working again. It's a driving. Fantastic. It's okay. Like I said, we'll make it back eventually. It's just a little snag. Ugh. Sorry. My lunch is coming back up. My mom, I'll tell you this brief story. It has nothing to do with anything, but I'll talk about it anyway. My mom she's on like the board for the community that we're in. She's been trying to raise money to fix the roads, which are all fucked up. We're living in like a back city bumpkin hillbilly area, right? Something like that. And I told her, what you gotta have at those events? You gotta have the big fucking cardboard with the thermometer on there, and you like use a red marker to like scribble it up with your goal at the top. And as you're making more money and slowly reaching your goal, you can show everybody the progress that everyone's making as a community. Because I think just having that visual guide just helps everyone understand, where their money's going and how much more they need to actually have something change. That's a big part of it. And as I was talking about this, I was thinking to myself, man, I just need one of those for my room. I just need one of those in the background of my videos. It's just like money to finally get my life together. It's like, that scene in Klaus where he has like his own goal thing, and you just one line of progress in one day. That's what I'll be doing. But instead of doing that in one day, I'd be doing it like every year, just the one line of progress, slowly inching your way up to the goal. But yeah, I do think that it's mentally kind of healthy just to see any progress you're making, and note changes that happen. Just keep track of it all, so you know what's working, what's not working, and so on and so forth. I need one of those. Where do you get those? Is there a big cardboard thermometer store where they just sell those for all your fundraising needs? Thanks for the $5, Maverick Christian. Here's an albeit small amount of money towards car repair. Thanks, man. Always appreciated. I got good people who tune in here on the Fridays with Dannphan. You need a mascot. Mascots get everyone hype. Yeah, right? What would my mascot be? Just be my Dannphan head. Maybe my hat is sentient. Get the cat hat, have it talk. I don't even know. Uh, but yeah, so there are new projects coming for this year, um, that I'll be excited to bring on and hopefully get some uh, money from those projects. I've been pretty happy with how the original art has been going, like me selling those little cards, right? I think what I'm going to do next time, I'm not going to do it immediately, right? Because I don't have the cards with me. But for the next original art that I put up on my website, maybe I'll start doing some fan art, you know? Start drawing some characters from some popular anime or whatever you guys are interested characters in me drawing. In fact, put in the chat characters that you want me to draw for putting up as original art on burningstarcomics.net. I don't know what you guys are interested in, so I gotta know, man. I bet someone would probably like me to do another your art piece. Part of the reason why I wasn't doing fan art before is because it's not like technically legal to sell fan art of a character that's not yours, but but everyone does it, and if a company actually sues you over that, they'll look like shit. They'll look like very bad people because you're suing people over fan art, right? So usually you don't have a problem with it. And I think if I just do a couple, just to test it out, right? Maybe that would be fine. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Jolene from JoJo Part 6. Hey, there we go. The MCU is making Kamala Khan the first mutant. Yeah, okay. I mean, I won't deny that the character needs an overhaul, so might as well change fucking everything about her. But what do you mean by the first mutant? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to be the first mutant. Isn't like Wolverine like super fucking old? Wolverine has the most complicated backstory ever. I'll say that much. Maybe he needs an overhaul as well, but he's ridiculously like basically just an immortal being. How is he not the first mutant? If you're gonna throw around the first, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. Draw double Zeta Gundam, Vampirella, Jedi Trump in a romantic embrace with Waze Skywalker? Oh, just change 30% of the character. There you go. And then it's yours. Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know if I would draw them that well. I could give it a shot, you know? They won't see you unless you're making decent coin from it. That's fair. I mean, like, people at Comic-Con conventions and even, like, anime conventions, they always sell fan art. And nobody ever like busts down the door like, can't do that. It's my character. Lord Archie, dragon form from One Punch Man. Don't skip the detail. Do you mean One Piece though? I think you meant One Piece. Unless there's also a Lord Archie from One Punch Man that I don't know about. Jolene would be interesting to see. Okay, there you go. Alrighty. We got some interesting one. Oh, Chaga from My Hero Academia. Okay, all right. MCU more like see you later. This stuff stinks. Yeah, I don't really think. What is it? Phase 4. What are we in? I think the MCU is doing super hot. But whatever. Disney Marvel needs an overhaul. Oh yeah, so true. Very true, man. Namor was Marvel's first mutant, and they made Apocalypse the first mutant. Everyone's the first mutant. Okay. I mean, fair enough. I don't actually know. I was just thinking like in terms of X-Men. Yeah, Apocalypse is first. That's fair. That's all fair. I mean, it just makes no sense for Kamala Khan to be the first. So, one of those things. One Piece, man. Yeah, there you go. Draw you with the Luffy hat. I can do that. I can do that. I wouldn't even have to be breaking copyright laws to do that. There you go. Phase Boar, baby. Got him. Got him. Bloom from Winx Club in her first fairy form. All right. Get some sexy Bloom. Alrighty. All right. Well, I think that's a lot of good suggestions. I was expecting a lot more anime suggestions, honestly. What were the anime suggestions again? They were like Jolie and Lord Orochi in dragon form specifically. Draw Luffy but dressed like Weekend at Bernie's. That wouldn't be that hard. I'll give him the sunglasses and everything. All right, good suggestions, guys. I'll be looking into making some more original art for the website. I can't do it now. I gotta wait. To briefly explain, I left a lot of my supplies at Adam's house because I was staying over there for a while and doing all the shipping over there. But I can't go back to Adam's house right now because he's got Corona-chan over. He's cheating on me with Corona-chan, which is unfortunate. Hoping that he feels better soon, obviously. But yeah. You've got some uh-ohs, yep. But he'll be fine. He is sick in bed, but it's not so serious that he's got to go to the hospital or anything. He just got like pre-existing conditions because he's got asthma. But as far as I know, he's not saying that he has any trouble like breathing or anything, which would be a big uh-oh at that point. So yeah. But hopefully in like a week or so, I'll go back over there and I'll get some stuff shipped out. I'll start making the new original art for everyone. Yay! Get some fan art. I guess I could also like be taking suggestions for new drawings of my own characters. I experimented a little bit by doing like Amari and Hazel with cat ears. But hey, those sold fairly quickly. I know what the people want. They know what they want too. So there you go. We need more cat girls. That's what the internet told me. And that's what we gotta give them. Gotta make it happen. What else is going to happen? There's actually a lot of things happening. I wasn't lying when I said I gotta like update because I haven't been updating weekly because I wasn't doing the Fridays with Dannphan. So now there's just like all this piled up stuff that I guess I should be updating you guys on. Obviously, Sonic City Witch issue 2 is out. Hey, that's been fun. So, we're starting on issue 3. I've got like the drafts pretty much done for issue 3. I gotta do like one panel and maybe like fix something, and the drafts would be completely done. But the artist has already started on issue 3, and I think it's pretty fair to expect that to be out next year. So yeah, there's that. But focusing more on this year, I got a couple new things actually. Me and Adam are making a fantasy comic. And, I would give out more details on that. The only thing is, it's it's not really that much done. I've started the inking process. And then after the inking process, I'm going to go back and do the tones. So basically variations of the color gray, because it's not going to be full color. But I finished up like the cover. And it looks fucking awesome. I did a logo for it, and the logo kind of looks awesome too, I gotta say. I might fiddle with the logo a little bit more, but as it is right now, it looks dank. But yeah, I'm only about like 11 pages into inking it up, but I've been doing that most actively out of everything. So I want to make sure that that is ready for a campaign sometime soon. But before that actually happens, what I'll probably be doing, and I'll say probably because I'm not sure how official this is just yet, or if it'll get pushed back and I'll end up like flipping which project goes first. But I know a friend, a gal, who is also a comic creator who has been playing up the webcomic game. Actually, I know like two gals who have been playing up the webcomic game. And we've been talking about them publishing through Burning Star since I have a website host and everything. So this girl in particular, Elle, I like to call her, she does now hiring, which can be found on Webtoons and can be found on Comic Fury. I don't know if it's on Tapas. I mean, probably not. I don't like Tapas. I don't know about anyone else, but that website sucks. Anyway, it's pretty good. And we're hoping that we can do a campaign for that this year before Christmas season. I'm not interested in fulfilling any campaign during Christmas season. That's too hectic for me. And like I said, anxiety and whatnot. But yeah. So that's probably going to be done this year. If not this year, then probably next year, right? But yeah, let me, because people are asking for links, let me actually find a decent link. No, I should have it bookmarked or something, but I checked and I did not have it bookmarked because I'm a bad. It's kind of like a gritty crime webcomic. It's about like gangs who are having a scuffle, and it's got a sci-fi twist on it. There are some alien characters and this super crazy drug that they're selling. It's a lot more gritty than what my comics have been so far. I mean, as far as edgy goes on my website, the edgiest thing on there right now is probably like Sonic City Witch. Even Oh Girl is like fairly tame. Sonic City Witch is the one with like suicide bombers and stuff like that. But and that one's like YA technically. I try to keep Sonic City Witch tame too. Don't get me wrong. I'm a relatively tame person in general, is what I'm saying. But yeah, this one's a little bit more grittier. I think if you're into horror stuff or crime stuff or mysteries, thrillers, you'll probably enjoy it. But yeah, so we're switching that up. We're gonna put that into a volume campaign to get it printed. That might be done this year if everything goes swimmingly. She actually sent me not too long ago some ideas for posters that we could also have as a tier. I looked through them briefly, but I didn't reply because I had to do the live stream. But it'll be fun. And then after that, assuming that all goes well and all according to plan, afterwards, if not before, I'll be doing a campaign for me and Adam's comic, which is a fantasy adventuring party. And the comic itself that I'm doing with Adam, I mean, I'll just tell you the name. It's called Horizon Quest. Name drop. Oh, big. Oh my God. The name. You'll never guess what it's about through the name alone, though. So it's not like the name drop really matters that much. But yeah, Horizon Quest is very lighthearted. Another YA, or well, teenage plus adults can enjoy it too. It's basically like shonen. And it does have gore in it. It's not like overly censored or anything about like that. I think I think shonen in most cases is kind of like a good rule of thumb for what teenage reading should look like. You know what I mean? So I kind of take a lot of inspiration from Japan's shonen category when it comes to my own YA stuff. I oh, it can't be any worse than DC's YA. Dear God. But yeah, so it's a little bit more lighthearted, very character driven. It's a very character driven story. And Adam's writing it, but I'm doing all the art for it. And it's been a while since I've done all the art for a book that I'm trying to like get printed. The last book that I did all the art for myself, I think was Ellie the Eliminator, which is a completely different style than my usual style. I've been kind of sharpening this anime like style, which you can say is more Western because yeah, I'm American. That is true. But I think that it looks fairly good. I'll say that much. I'm not the best artist around, but I think I've been polishing up the style enough to make it work, make it look like a decent comic. And I'm very excited to show you art from it, but it's not entirely ready for a campaign just yet. So it doesn't make that much sense to start promoting it while I'm still very much working on it. But yeah, that is something to be excited for. And once I'm done the comic with Adam, I also have like my own fantasy comic, which I was hoping to be a series. But and that would be, I guess, kind of the main series on Burning Star, because everything else is like, I mean, you could argue Sonic City Witch, as of right now, is the main series on Burning Star. But Sonic City Witch wasn't actually meant to be like a long ongoing series. It was originally meant to be a graphic novel. I just split it up into 4 issues. So you could call it a series, but it's really more of I guess a mini series, I guess would be a better word for it. But the fantasy comic that I wrote, not Adam, but me wrote, that one is much longer. I think it's going to be more of a manga style of doing it, where I release volumes, and it's one story, but it's connected on multiple story arcs. But I'm really excited for it. Honestly, out of everything that I've been working on so far, that's the one I'm most excited for. And it's going to take the longest to finish up and actually get out there. So before that, I know I've got so many fucking projects that are just unfinished on my list. Before that, what I might do is release this other comic that I have all the drafts done for. I might just ink that up. It's a one-shot 30-page comic. It's a comedy, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it. But as things progress further, I'll do more official announcements where I'll be actually giving out information. But I don't want to commit too hard. I think I made many mistakes, but one of the mistakes was that I announced Sonic City Witch way too early, before it was really done or ready to be talked about. And that led to a lot of people forgetting all about it even existing. But yeah, so that's why I'm kind of holding back on doing official announcements for a lot of these comics. Most likely, I'm going to do now hiring this year, and then maybe, I don't know. Do you think I could fund for Horizon Quest at the end of this year and then fulfill next year? Or is that too risky? Because I mean, over Christmas season, it's scary. Everyone's buying stuff that they want as Christmas gifts. I can guarantee you, I don't think I can fulfill fast enough to get it to you in time for Christmas, especially when everyone's sending packages and it's just too much. It's just too much. Anyway, well, what's this question now? Hey, Dannphan, do you get along with your siblings? Complicated question. When I was a kid, no, definitely not. As we grew up, it's a little better. We're kind of still cold to each other. We're not close, it's not like that. We just kind of respect each other a lot more because we're all adults. And sometimes you just kind of have to grow up to learn to respect your fellow siblings. You know what I mean? But yeah, stupid question, but here it goes. Do you just have a tons of inherent artistic ability, or did you have to learn to draw? Yeah, if you've seen my old drawings, no, no, I don't have any natural artistic ability. It took so long just to get where I'm at. And I don't even think I'm that good now. Not that I want to downplay myself. You should still get my art, of course, please. But I'm not anything spectacular right now. I'm still trying to get better. It takes a long time and a lot of practice and dedication to really learn better methods to go about art, But yeah. Thank you for reminding me to drink. Do you ever go to conventions? I used to go to them a lot more often. Recently, not really. I want to go to more of them because I want to bring my books and actually get a table and sell them there. We were supposed to. There is this one convention in August, and I was telling Adam, hey, you want to go try to sell at this? And he's like, yeah, sure. I think it's too late now, though. I think we both just forgot or was too lazy to actually try to book a table. I think it's too late now, though, because it's like almost the end of July. It basically is the end of July. I don't think that they're going to be accepting late applications to get a table. But yeah, I want to go to more conventions, but I don't. Typically, you can bet that it'll be less likely to find me at a convention. But I do want to go to more conventions, yes. if that answers your question. Okay, what else do we got here? Can you show us your old drawings? Yes, I can. I can show you my old drawings. You know what else I can show you? That'll be really funny. I can show you my old webtoons. Dun dun dun. Because I think I still have my webtoon account. Oh yeah. Ooh, no. It burns. Oh no. Okay. Let me share the screen. Get ready for cringe. This one. Share. Get ready for cringe. This is my old webtoons account. It exists. I've done a video where I've read some of my old webtoons. Obviously some of these are on my website. I posted Sonic City Witch here just to see if I could catch some new readers on webtoon. I don't know if I actually got any though. Granted, I still got some likes, so it's not that bad, I guess. Street Levelers. I think Street Levelers actually has worse art than 10 Switches, if that's possible. All right. Are you ready? Let's look at 10 switches. I already read this in another first episode, obviously. We start at the beginning. I read this in a video of mine as kind of like a joke. Look at it. Why did I do it in manga format? There's no reason. This is most people who are reading this are gonna be English. Anyway, I'm an idiot. It's basically before we even look at the art. Let me just preemptively say, yes, I am an idiot. You can find a video of me on this channel reading this. I might go back and read the rest of it on this channel now that we brought it up again. But yeah, okay. So there's the art. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's how a face should look, right? Yeah, okay. Oh man, her face is super slanted there. It's like falling off. It's going into outer space. All right. And this is also before I went digital. So I drew this in pen and then I would scan it into a file for the computer, and then I'd add the shading afterwards and the text. Oh my god, look at that lettering. Why did I choose that? You know what? Just let it go. Just let it go. Her face! It's falling! Kind of has that high school artist's energy, but it's really solid. Thanks. Thank you. I don't think I'd call it solid, but you do your best with what you got. There you go. That's all I'm gonna show you. If you want more cringe, you can watch the video of me reading that. Even your cringe drawings are a lot better than mine. Thank you. Thank you. I could go more cringe if I wanted to, but I thought that was pretty cringe, actually. Let me see how far back my Instagram goes. Maybe I have old drawings on there. The switch to digital, I think, really helped me because I could more clearly see what I was doing wrong and correct it. And something about that just like switched something in my brain to like know the better way of doing it right the first time, All right. Well, bad news. Some of these old drawings actually aren't that bad. Got to go back further. I think what it is, I only posted drawings that I thought were relatively okay. She just got a bra on. I don't know. Trying to get that sexy audience, I guess. Oh, there's my old Street Levelers art. Oh, yeah, that looks bad. I don't know why I did a picture from the, whatever. Yeah, it's not the best. I mean, I guess I could show that in Webtoons too. I could show you like old school Street Levelers. I don't even have to go to Instagram for that. But yeah, you know how it is. And to drink up Street Levelers. Oh, big stars in the eyes. Yeah. I have an idea. I finally got to that point in my life where something triggered in me where I was like, I know how to reboot Street Levelers. Finally, I got a story idea that would actually work as a beginning to a reboot to that old webcomic I used to do. But do I really have time to do it at this point in my life? Not really, because I'm already moving on to so many other projects. So I don't know. I don't know if a reboot of Street Levelers is actually ever coming. I'll say this much before you even look into it. Me looking back on Street Lovers, I can see a whole lot of problems. The biggest problem is when I first started the webcomic, I wasn't taking it seriously. I originally created Street Levelers to be a joke superhero webcomic. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? This should be serious. Um, so that's a problem. So I had to like go back and try to make the earlier chapters serious. But then there were all these consistency problems because I didn't start it being serious. Yeah, digital is good for flipping art to get faces right. Yeah, it is good. Before you say anything, I did not do that. I did not do that art piece. That was, I believe that was Andrew Jacobs, actually. No, wait, no, it wasn't. It was, fuck. Oh, fuck. Did I actually forget his name? Oh, no, I'm a terrible person. No. Oh. It's an anime artist, wasn't it? You know, the biggest problem is it's been way too long since I've looked at Street Levelers, and now I forget like half of the people who actually helped me do some art for it because I was not a very good artist, but a lot of people read it and was like, there's some parts of the story that I like. I like some of the characters. I want to help you with the art. So they would like come in and do the art for certain chapters. And the one person who helped me the most putting together these chapters was Spooky Sako, who I believe is still somewhat active on Twitter if you did want to look at her stuff. I think it's a girl. I don't actually know. Okay, full disclosure, I don't know the genders of most of these people, but yeah, they helped me put together basically most, if not all, of the art for the comic. When I first started it, though, it was all pencil. It's all pencil sketches that I just scanned in there. Yeah, it was good stuff. Anyway, first episode. Keep in mind, this is not like actually the original per se. The original was all pencil. I went back and then tried to do it with digital, but I didn't understand how to do digital at the time. I didn't have a tablet, funny enough. So I was going over my old drawings, and what I was actually kind of doing was I was just using the line tool on Clip Studio, like the curved line tool. That's how I got these curves looking all nice, but there's no variation in darkness for them. And obviously, it still doesn't look good, but fuck. Trying to remember this stuff. This is the comic that is infamously known as the comic that I drew with the laptop trackpad, just using the curved line tool. At some point, I finally got a wireless mouse to help speed up the process because the laptop trackpad. Oh God, what's wrong with me? Anyway, that permanently like fucked up my hand doing that. Not recommended. I kind of knew as I was doing it too. I was thinking to myself, this is probably going to do some permanent damage, isn't it? Bad idea. Bad Trisha. I wish I could go back into the past and smack myself. But yeah, please, for the love of God, use a drawing tablet. Don't use the line tool. Don't use the curved line tool to draw your stuff. Anyway, yep, this is the art. Man, that guy looks really good, huh? Oh, such good action. Look at her go. Oh, yeah, that kick made totally a lot of sense. Yay, explode the car. Yay, just jump 10 stories onto the fire escape. So good at stuff. God, it looks so bad. This is not good art. But you know what? Despite it not actually being good art, I'm still somewhat impressed. It's just because I drew it with the laptop trackpad. You gotta admit, it's not that bad for laptop trackpad art. It's okay, you know? But yeah, obviously I traced that. I'm not even gonna pretend it's I mean, look at it, it's obvious. I traced it. Okay. I traced this too. I don't remember what I think I traced it off of somebody else's art. This I did not trace. I just drew a square and then added lines, which is actually not that bad. I should have just did that for all of the buildings, really. But yeah, street levelers. It's not. He's got a lot of problems with it. There's some ideas here and there that are not that bad. There's some characters that I like that I created for this superhero webcomic, but it's definitely not a good showcase of my writing ability. I've written a lot better stuff recently. I've published a lot better stuff recently as well. So, but recently I did get an idea of how to actually reboot it and make it work. But I don't know if I'm ever actually going to go back to it because I mean, what some people get really stuck on past projects. I don't want to be that person, but at the same time, I mean, I've got so many ideas for comics. If it could very easily just be me moving from project to project to project eternally and never going back to the other stuff. People are asking me about like another Ellie issue. I don't know if I'm ever getting back to Ellie. I'd like to do more Ellie books, but doesn't really sell that much. I'll say that. Dannphan, keep moving forward. Yeah, keep moving forward. Sequel it. Yeah, there you go. I never finished the story of Street Levelers. It has an ongoing story to it, and I don't think I even got past the first arc. Or well, the first arc I guess is like a prequel arc. Yeah, you know what? I remember now. I was starting the second arc. I was starting it, but I never finished. Soft reboot time. No, hard reboot. I would have to hard reboot Street Levelers from the beginning. I would. It's some ideas worked, but most of them did not. I would have to really go back from scratch to make it a real superhero comic, I'll freelance for you. Yeah, there you go. Anthology series, that's an idea. Yes. I don't have that many super short comics though. A lot of my comics that I consider to be like kind of short stories are more like 20 to 30 pages, And all of them are open-ended. So if I ever wanted to go back and do a sequel for any of my comics, I can. And I like that ability to, whatever comic I do, have it end open-endedly so I could always go back to it if I wanted to. It feels good. Anyway, there's a lot of comics coming your way though. And I think you're going to enjoy a lot of the new stuff I come out with. If I ever do go back to Street Level, you'll know about it because I'll make a huge deal about it if I ever actually get a Street Levelers reboot running. That would be sick. I did Andrew Jacobs in the chat. He was interested in doing it, but it's one of those things. Neither of us are like really sure how to go about it. Dannphan, sometimes your first ideas just don't work out. I had to redesign my first OC because I felt her design was too bland. Of course. Yeah. Sometimes your first ideas are not your best. Sometimes it takes like 5 or 7 ideas to get your best work out there. I've got a whole file filled with nothing but ideas for different comics. And I know a lot of people out there, they're banking on like their, what would I even call it? It's like their poster child series. They're all putting together that, right? Ripa, he's got like a whole universe that he's coming out with. Me, it's like almost every comic I come out with is like a different universe. It's going for different themes, a singular story, that type of stuff. The only thing that is set to be a whole series that could go on for theoretically an eternity is this not the fantasy thing that I'm doing with Adam, but the other fantasy thing that I'm writing. That could be the poster child of Burning Star. It has the potential to be the poster child of Burning Star. But if there was going to be a second, if there was going to be a second poster child of Burning Star, it could have been Street Levelers. It could have very well been it. I wouldn't even mind doing just a one-shot Street Levelers reboot, just like a one story that took place in the universe but polished up so that all the problems of the original webcomic were fixed, while also having like hat tips to like different characters that existed in the comic. I have an idea for it, but I have an idea, but is it worth doing? Are two different questions, The level verse. Oh God, you're the best. I don't know what that. All right. Anyway, I'm not super interested in like dedicating my whole website and all my comics to just one universe though, because I have way too many different ideas and I want to do them all. Theoretically, I want to go through the rest of my life doing one idea after the other until they all have somewhat satisfying endings. Even if they end open-endedly, should still feel like a whole story. Just not trackpad verse. No, never draw with a laptop trackpad. We're not doing that. Never again. I actually have a tablet now. I'm actually doing real art. Yeah. When I'm ready to go full blown promoting Horizon Quest, I should definitely do some drawing streams with you guys. I should show you me inking up the pages. I'm feeling pretty good about it so far, honestly. I think my art has improved a whole lot. It's gotten a lot more solid, I still struggle with drawing a bunch of different things, but it actually looks like art that you would find in a normal comic, not a DCYA comic. I'm not going that direction, but a normal good comic, I would say. But yeah, what bad show or comic did you dislike the most for videos? You like stuff that I've made videos about that I dislike the most? Oh my God. Recently, I read Under the Moon. I might have disliked that the most. That might be like the most hated thing I've ever read. I guess besides Nubia. Or actually, maybe they're like on par with each other. They're both pretty fucking bad. There's like bad, but then there's like bummer bad, where not only what you read was bad, but it also ruins your day. It just like ruins your mood. Dannphan verse of madness. Hey, here we go. There we go. Does your tab have a screen I'm in the market for one of those, even though I'm an old ass beginner artist. I do have a graphic design background, but not like actual drawing. I don't have a screen on my tablet, no. I just use this screen, and use the hotkeys on my keyboard too. I don't use There are hotkeys on the tablet and on the pen, but I don't use them because I don't know, I'm fucking crazy. I guess I should be using them, but it just feels right to have like one hand on the keyboard and one hand drawing. So I just do it like that. But yeah, no, obviously, I guess it's theoretically better to have a tablet with a screen on it, but it doesn't bother me. Once you get used to drawing that way, you, starts coming to you naturally, Then it's going to be weird to reverse. But the tablet that I got was really cheap too. I think it was only like $50. The tablet that I have. Granted, there's inflation to adjust for, but I've had it for like 5 or 4 years. It's a long ass time. It hasn't like given me any trouble whatsoever. It's good. It's good stuff. I lost the fucking nibs for my pen though. That's annoying me. I bet someone in the house threw it out. I don't want to point fingers, but I feel like that the bag of nibs for your tablet pen is definitely something that someone would look at, be like, what the fuck is this? And then just toss it in the trash thinking that it's not important. Someone threw them out. I'm almost positive. And that's fine. It's not like they're expensive or anything. It's just you need those, Whatever. What's still hard for you to draw? Feet. I don't like feet or shoes or anything of that area. I ain't got no fetish for it, so I don't draw it very often. I don't like feet. I'll say that. A lot of animals I'm not good at drawing. Animals are like this whole other area because it's like each one has this different anatomy that you have to learn to make them look right. Pain in the ass. And hands. I'm still not very good at drawing hands. I can draw passable hands, but nobody's gonna look at my hands and say those are good hands. It's not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna ever look at my hands and be like, man, I gotta copy Dannphan's hands because they're so good. No, they're passable at best. Fuck. Fucking hands. I mean, I've gotten better at it. I've learned a lot of shortcuts that kind of have helped. But yeah. Hands are not my best. Hands and feet, not my best at drawing. God forbid I gotta draw them together. Nobody's gonna give anyone foot rubs in my comics, god damn it. It's not happening. It's too complicated. Sorry. Yeah, hands are the big taboo of artists because so many people have trouble drawing them. You wouldn't think that we would have trouble drawing them considering that we like are looking at them all of our lives, but I think the main thing about hands is just that there's so many joints and intricate parts of it, so it's very easy to make it look wrong, make a joint look out of place, or have a joint be too long, or there's just too many things that can go wrong when you're drawing hands. That's the big thing. But my big shortcut for drawing hands is just drawing a long squiggly line and then adding a thumb. You'll notice that in my art all the time because I'm I'm fucking terrible. This is just no excuse. But it does help me get around. Can I find a squiggly line? If I find a squiggly line, oh, you'll see it. You'll know it. You'll be like, God damn it, that's Dannphan's squiggly line right there. Oh, there's a squiggly line. Hang on, let me share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. This is fun. I missed these. I missed you guys. Squiggly! It's a squiggly it's a squiggly line with a thumb. Over here's a squiggly too. It's just a squiggly line. I didn't put any effort into these hands at all. But can you blame me? They're hands. They're hard. Squiggles! Squiggly line. Well, this one I put a little bit more thought into, I think. But it's mostly squiggly line, let's be honest. Find more squiggles. Hang on. That's kind of squiggly-ish. I mean, I didn't really pay attention to his joints here. Squiggles. 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 Goddamn squiggles. There we go. All my hands secretly have just been squiggly lines this whole time. You didn't even know about it. All right. To be fair, sometimes I actually, in the drafts, when I'm like drawing the sketches, sometimes I actually do draw out the joints and everything. But I could just squiggle. It really depends on how much patience and how good I want the hands to look. Because, I mean, if I can squiggle, why not just squiggle? I mean, look at my hand. It looks like a squiggle. It's a squiggly hand. I mean, they could be worse. Spaghetti, yeah, squiggle hands. It works, though. It does. It works. Nobody notices. Oh, man. Once when I was like, I think I was super young on my old YouTube channel. I'm way too young to have an old YouTube channel, but I did like an art advice thing when I was not good enough at art to do an art advice thing. And the advice I gave was the squiggle. I gave the squiggle hand advice. But people actually found that that's the one advice in that video that people found useful. I've just enlightened all of the artists on this stream. You now know how to draw hands. The secret was a squiggle the whole time. Yeah. I want to be that person who draws super detailed hands, but the rest of the person is a rough sketch. It's like that meme where like the horse, half of the horse is like super detailed and the rest of it is just like in this crazy, super rough face. You have improved a lot since Street Levelers. It was noticeable when drawing Ellie the Eliminator. Also, your character designs are very good. Thank you. Thank you. That makes me feel good. Yes. That is one thing that people enjoyed about Street Levelers, even though it was like, it's a super rough webcomic. If you're ever going to read it, just be warned. It's like not my best work. Yeah, and I was really young when I started it. But the thing that people would compliment about it is that they liked the characters. They liked the character designs because they were interesting enough. Even though I wasn't very good at drawing detailed things, I could still make the characters look distinct. And I also came up with different interesting powers for like each character. I mean, I could have done better, but everyone had like their own theme. That's the thing. I based every superhero character off of a type of theme. And that made it a little bit easier to design them. So that's what I did. Um, but yeah, there's another bit of art advice that'll blow your mind. Base whatever character you're drawing off of a certain theme, and then the design will just kind of click because you can look at reference material of that particular theme and just like, you know, experiment with things from that reference. I feel like I asked this before, but what's that poster on the door? That's X-Men Days of Future Past. It is super far away, so it's hard to see, but that's a sentinel over Wolverine and his fellow X-Men on the rebels, and there's a fire. It's a good poster. I've kept it for a long time. But you know, as soon as I didn't use tape for putting up these posters because I was forbidden from using tape or tacks. So instead I used sticky tack. What we didn't know at the time is that sticky tack is way worse than both tape and tacks. So as I eventually rip these posters off the wall, they're going to have to basically go in the trash because the sticky tack is just going to ruin everything. It's just going to destroy the wall, the posters, everything. Don't get sticky tack. It fucking sucks. There's more advice for you guys. I'm just a barrel of advice. You shook me up and I'm spilling all out. There you go. Yes, One Piece and X-Men. Dannphan has good taste. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, it's I like to keep the background relatively decorated for my videos, but granted, this is not the best place to be recording videos. I mean, it's better than any other place in the house, but you know, it's a dungeon. It really is a dungeon. People think that I just have a shitty camera. That's only half true. The real problem is not the camera. It's just the lighting. It's a dungeon. It's really dark, and the darkness makes the camera even more blurry. And I have to kind of color correct it in the video editor, but I can't correct the blurriness. I can only correct the brightness. I can't actually like fix it from being blurry. So not much I can do in that regard. But yeah, guys, we've been going on for an hour and 7 minutes. Normally I'd end the Friday stream here, but since I haven't been streaming for that long, I can go on for like maybe 20 minutes longer or something. Is there anything that you would like me to discuss on this Friday stream? Because normally I would ask you guys to bring the topics for me to discuss on Fridays with Dannphan. So if you guys have any topics you want me to talk about, maybe something that I missed or something that I didn't make a video over, I mean, I'd love to hear from you guys, you know? I got my happy cup. I'm ready. I'm ready to go, man. How about old Kool-Aid flavors? Always the best topics. I don't think I tried any other Kool-Aid flavor besides fruit punch. I think that was just, as soon as I had it, I was like, fucking, this is banger. I don't need any of the other flavors. Fuck every other flavor. I got fruit punch. That's all I need. I hear that the grapes tasted terrible, but then again, grape flavored anything I hear just tastes awful. No? I'd suggest looking at SDCC News, but I don't think they have a lot of announcements worth talking about. Fair enough. Fair enough. Where did your design Gray Dot's icon come from? Did you make it? I did. I drew it up. Although, granted, I went through a bunch of different types of banners and logos before settling on that one. And I had a friend kind of inch me in that direction of what I should do. So that was very helpful. But yeah. How do you come up with story ideas? Well, a big part of inspiration is taking in new content. And you'd be surprised. I mean, the human mind is really just made for learning, which sounds like such a dorky thing to say, but it's so true. There's so many interesting stories out there, both fictional and true, that you should be looking into. And from those stories, you can be inspired to write and create your own stories from complete scratch. It's great. But yeah, a lot of story ideas that I've come up with have often been stuff that I read like this manga or this series, or maybe I even watch a movie, and I see an idea in there that I really like, and maybe some ideas that I come up with, but the movie doesn't. And then I think to myself, what if I rewrote this, added in this, took out this, changed up this, and all of a sudden, boom, I created a whole different story. And that's kind of just a fun way of me coming up with story ideas. It's just me thinking of mixing up different stories that I've taken in throughout life. Fan art stream? Good question. I don't think I have enough fan art to do a fan art stream yet, or not enough new fan art. How many fan art pieces do I have? I think I got a folder where I keep of it. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 pieces of fan art. So probably not enough for a whole stream, but you know how it is. Could you sell? Hang on, show it. Work clicky. Okay. Could you sell 18 plus or plus 18 art? I assume you mean like specifically not safe for work stuff. Get them titties out there, let them titties go before you start to blow. I probably wouldn't of my own art. I'm not sure. I don't think I would draw very good 18 plus art. Not that I can't draw like the female body. I can draw the female body fine. I can even draw the male body fairly fine, considering that I'm a girl. And I typically what I've noticed is genders tend to draw their own gender better than the opposite, just because they have themselves to reference. And I reference myself all the time when I draw girls, of course. But yeah, I draw males fine, I think. It took a lot of practice to figure out how muscles work, but I think I got it down. What was the question? Oh, yes, 18 plus art, right. Would I ever draw 2 characters fucking? I don't know. I don't know. I've considered some like more nude work. I've considered creating comics with like nudity and sex and stuff like that. Not that it would ever be the focus of the story, because I'm not really interested in doing porn per se, but I don't feel like every story with sex in it necessarily has to be porn. It can just like be something that adds to the story. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I would ever sell like not safe for work art. That's something that I would have to like mull over. I also don't want to get locked in doing a specific type of content. I don't want to be chained to just not safe for work, just 18 plus stuff, which is why I'm kind of inching away from Oh Girl, to be honest. It's because I don't want to get locked into only doing that. People saw that and they thought that was going to be the poster child for Burning Stars. Like, no, man, I don't want that to be what I'm known for my whole life. That's brutal. It's, I mean, other people, I'm not saying that it's bad if you're known for that. I'm just saying that's not what I want to be known for, So I'm very cautious about it because I don't want to be locked. I don't want to be chained to the porn route, but I'm not particularly against it. You know what I mean? But yeah, what other questions we got here? Might as well just make this the question answering portion of the stream. Will you ever write stuff just for yourself and not for an audience? I mean, you could argue that most of what I've written has been just for myself. I don't know. I mean, I want other people to enjoy the same things that I enjoy. So it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to answer that question. Most of what I write, I enjoy, and I try to make it so that other people can also enjoy it. I try to like compromise with the people who are reading, but I never, or at least I try to never make a comic that I don't like. There are definitely comics that I've had a lot of trouble with, comics that I look back on and I'm like, that didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. And I can tell you something, that regret of no, I didn't want it to be like that. It's a brutal regret to have when you publish a comic. But I feel like all my comics are going to be comics that I enjoy. And, when I come up with ideas for comics, the main idea for a comic is I'm coming up with that idea because I like it. All of the passion and inspiration for that idea is because I like that idea. So I would hope that all my comics are stuff that I'm making for myself and for an audience who would also enjoy the stuff that I like. I would hope anyway. But it's raise the tier levels for not safe for work art. More money. Yes, that's true. Just make those like sketch cards twice the price for not safe for work. There you go. You may not have control over that. I don't know. No, I think the more stuff that I put on the website that is not 18 plus, the more it kind of starts leaning in the other direction, It's really just a matter of balance. Do the Thanos meme right here. All right. Would you discard a page or scene of loot stuff in one story, even if it fit the narrative, but is not necessary in the tone you wish things? Would that situation create a conflict with your characters? Interesting question. I've had thoughts similar to that where I was like, I'm gonna have these characters who are adults, who have sex in the scene, but I want to make it for mostly teenagers. So I can't really how much do I show, How much can I allude to that they're having sex without making it too lewd for the teenage audience? And it's an interesting balance. It is. It's interesting. I don't think I would completely discard any lewdness if it would mess with the story, though. Or if it would mess with the characters, because if it's necessary, if it needs to be there, it's got to be there. I'm sorry, teenagers. But yeah, there's only really 2 instances where I've had that thought of, is this too lewd for the audience that I'm aiming for? None of the comics that I'm referring to are out. So, future thoughts to mull on. Actually, there are some things that I cut out of Orgasm Girl. Oh, girl. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever, if you want to say the original title or the censored version, right? There's a bunch of jokes that I cut out of that. And that was rewritten a bunch of times. But it wasn't even for like something. I mean, it's an 18 plus comic. It was, teenagers could read it theoretically because it's tame enough, but it was meant for adults, and I didn't theoretically have to censor anything. It was just kind of how it was. The beta readers were like, it's too much here. You got to cut this out. So that's how it works. But I don't think it really messed with the story that much. I think it made the first issue very unfunny, which is a problem. But second issue, I think, kind of bounced back to that tone that I was going for, at least. Anyway, everything else is stuff that I haven't come out with yet, so don't worry about that, I guess. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? 6 feet under. Next question. Are there any characters you've wanted to draw despite never having seen, played, read the work? Sure. Like characters that I look at and I'm like, whoa, the design of that character is super cool, but I don't know anything about it. Sure. Can't think of any right now, but you know how it is. Can you do a viewer submitted art review submit stream again? Do you mean like fan art stream? What do you mean? Do you just mean like where I look at people who are subscribed to me's art and I judge them on a stream? I think I have done that once before. I don't think it went over that well though. I mean, I'm once again, I'll say this. I'm okay artist. I'm not really super great. So maybe I'm not the best person to be giving out any advice. You know, not that I wouldn't want to at all, but I don't know, maybe you could get better advice from somewhere else. Would you permanently kill off one of your characters? Yes. I've done it multiple times. What's your thoughts on the recent One Piece? I assume you mean the recent One Piece chapter. There's a lot happening. I remember reading the spoilers like 2 days ago for this One Piece chapter. And at first I thought, man, that's a lot in one chapter. Is that actually? That is actually. As it turns out, there's just a lot happening in that one chapter. I'm excited about where it's going from here. But it's mostly just setting up stuff in that one chapter. So yes. I assume the next chapter is going to be like Luffy and the Straw Hats escaping Wano as Green Bull is like going after them. Do you use references and practice figure drawing? I don't practice figure drawing that much anymore. I had this stage of life where I was practicing figure drawing, of course. I do use your references only as often as I need them. I don't use them all the time. And the main thing that I do when it comes to drawing bodies these days is just breaking down everything into shapes. Usually that's enough. Usually that's enough for me to understand where everything is supposed to go. But yeah, sometimes I do need a reference because sometimes it's just not clicking in my head. Oh, sorry, I missed this one. Did you ever have a moment when you come up with very good ideas for an already existing franchise and laminate that it's missed an opportunity for the great? Yeah. I often have ideas for shows and like other franchises that I do not own. And I think to myself, man, if that were in the public domain, I could fucking nail that, but it's not. So I can't touch it. But it doesn't matter because, I got a bunch of ideas of my own that I can just write. And that's good. Thanks, El Kraken. Nice to have you back on Friday live stream. It was really great. Have an awesome weekend. Dude, I should have answered. I should have read this right before you are leaving, I suppose. But yeah, you too, man. Dude, girl, maybe. I don't know. When you sell your comic to a big studio, would you demand to be involved in the production? Well, you're saying when, as if I would ever do that. Honestly, if I was not as passionate about comics that I came out with, maybe I would sell the rights to those, right? If I wasn't as passionate about those things, maybe I'd be like, sure. yeah, take it, just give me royalties or whatever. But for most of my comics, I think I want to hold on to them, and at least hold on to the printing rights, right? So I can keep making comics for them if I want to make more stories with the same characters. Um, but yeah, I would love to. Of course, I would love to be involved in the production of any spin-off or TV show or video game or whatever would be made based off of my comics. That's kind of a given because I don't want anyone to fucking ruin them. And if you look at reboots and spin-offs and all the things going down these days, it's like everyone's ruining anything they can get their hands on. So yeah, it's brutal. Yeah, man. What's your thoughts on animation versus comics? They're kind of connected in a way, which is kind of funny. A lot of people who work in comics also have experience working in animation and vice versa. Um, I, I mean, I prefer everything to be animated. If it was easy to do it, all my stories would be animated, but it's not easy. So I'm content with the comics. A good thing about comics is it's a nice way to like own the frames, right? I mean, of course, if you really wanted to, you could rip up your VCR and like take out the film, and that's like your way of owning the frames. But in a comic, it's a little bit better than that. All right, my voice is getting a bit tired, so we're gonna end the stream soon. But I'll answer just a little bit more questions before we end the stream. And then I'm outie. I gotta go back to work and work on inking more pages. Pages that I can't wait to show you, but I have to. I have to wait to show you because if I reveal it too early, then the hype is gonna die out by the time that I actually put it out there. Sorry. Like I said, my voice is going. What do you think of online light novels? Is there a place for them, or are webcomics better? I have never read in my entire life an online light novel. I know they exist. I know that they're like mostly on Pixiv, or I guess if you consider like the fanfiction.net or the what is it called? I forget what the website is even called. Oh god. Unless you consider that like also online light novels, they're a lot easier to do than webcomics, which is why I think there's a lot of appeal behind doing them. I don't think they cultivate as much of an audience. I don't think a lot of people are lining up to read the online light novels. I don't know. It's hard to say because I've never actually read them. I have read webcomics, so that's all I can really say about that. Ugh. My boyfriend Adam, he does the traditional writing, like writing novels and writing short stories. Maybe he's read light novels. I'm not sure, or specifically online light novels. I'm not sure though, but I'm sure he would be all for giving that a try. Isn't there it's like an Amazon Kindle thing where they have it so that you can read the book for free, but you like at some point it like paywalls you, so you like pay for a certain number of pages that you get to read next. Or wait, is it just that they have ads in between the pages? You know what? I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't take it from me. Street Levelers and Netflix original. Ah, no, bad. No, Street Levelers on Broadway. Yeah, right. Oh fuck. Would anything on Bookwalker count? Good question. I don't fucking know. I don't know. You excited for Sonic Frontiers? Not really. I feel like I got to know a little bit more about it. I think I know what they're going for in Sonic Frontiers, and it could work. But the footage that I have seen of it just doesn't really look that fun to me. So I don't know. Maybe I want to see more. Want to see more butts. And that's all for today, folks. All right, guys, that's gonna close out the stream for now. I gotta get back to work. I gotta rest my voice, and gotta make more videos, right? Get back in the groove. I'll keep you updated as I work towards finishing up more comic projects, and yeah, I'm excited. Do more streams with you guys. Good to be back. Good to be back doing these streams and back to actually, doing the videos instead of pre-recording and then uploading a million years later. So, yes. Thank you guys for joining me on this Friday. Good night, everybody. And